He says, I met my wife Rona when we were in college together. I made the obviously terrible assumption that the fact that she was in post-secondary education meant she had a shred of common sense. Yeah, well, you know what happens when you assume, guys. We started dating our senior year, and after job hunting, settled on moving back to her hometown after graduation. We found an apartment and lived together for 2 years before getting married. All good so far. Smack! Way too soon, dude. And you're going to learn that. At our wedding, I met an old friend of hers, Anna. She offered to read my palm since she was a part gypsy. Weird. I'm in construction, and I know a few people from that group, and they call themselves Roma. Whatever. Palm reading, huh? Maybe that could have been done before you got married, since obviously this is going to carry some weight. Anna only comes to town every once in a while. She lives in NYC, so she doesn't have time to visit since she has an exciting life there. She makes costumes for plays and cosplayers, so we see her maybe 4 times a year over the next 2 years. Last time she came was Labor Day last year, and that's when it got weird. All of a sudden, Rona starts acting oddly. She starts checking in me at work, coming by when I'm working late, asking to use my phone because hers is almost out of power, that sort of thing. Yeah, she's checking you out. That's what's going on. She finally comes out and accuses me of having an affair. This guy's probably like, what? What the hell are you talking about? What am I doing that can give you any inclination that I'm having an affair? I thought she was joking, so I laugh and say that I'm not. This sets her off like a Roman candle, because Anna told her I would laugh it off when Rana came for the truth. Usually, if a guy is innocent and wasn't doing anything and being accused of something, usually someone would freaking just start cracking up like, what? And laugh in her face. I laughed because it was ridiculous. I barely had time for a relationship with my wife and my job. I'm at home all weekend long. When I go golfing, her brother's almost always either in my foursome or at the club. And most important of all, I love my wife. I wouldn't do anything to harm her, and yeah, she takes the word of Anna, the psychic seamstress, over mine. Yes, there you go. She asked me to leave our apartment. I say no because I have nowhere else to go. So she leaves and moves back with her parents. They think she's nuts too. Okay, so it isn't like just he thinks that she's nuts. So I spent the next few months working and trying to convince her that I'm not cheating and that I want her to come home. Smack! No, you're just playing into her. I mean, obviously you don't want your marriage to crumble because, but by her accusing you of that, you haven't done anything, and she's taking the advice of her psychic friend. One would think that she's actually having an affair and then wants to blame him to kind of excuse her actions or something like that. So I didn't get invited to Thanksgiving because it would have been awkward. I didn't even stick around for Christmas. I went home to see my family. They've been following all this stupidity without commenting until then. At Christmas, they had an intervention. They said my wife was having a break from reality and that she wasn't coming out of it. My dad told me to give my head a shake, which he only does when I'm being monumentally stupid. Thank God they're having an intervention with him. And yeah, he gave his head a shake. Well, if he was my son, I'd give him a smack. When I got back, I went to a lawyer and started my divorce. Thank you. It's about time. This guy tried. Here's the thing, guys. I want to interrupt for a second. Imagine you're in a marriage and you truly love your wife and you're good to her, you're loving, you're working hard, building a future and all that. It's early on. And she comes accusing all this crap and pulls something like this. I mean, aside from you just being flabbergasted at this whole thing, you're also going to be hurt because you obviously love her and marry her. I mean, seriously. And so he's obviously tried. She's nuts. It's over. I went to the lawyer, blah, blah, blah. That was in January. Finally, at the beginning of April, Rhonda calls me to talk. I say that we should talk through our lawyers. She starts to cry, and I agree to meet her in public if she will allow me to record our conversation so I can give a copy to my lawyer, and she eventually agreed. I wouldn't meet with her, but, he loves her. It turns out her and her parents hired a private detective to find my affair. 6 months and a huge bill later, zero evidence of an affair. Well, you know what? F them. Now, in fairness, if the parents actually thought that he was having an affair and they want to protect their little girl and hire a PI, okay, because I got no problem if guys do that. But still, the way she's acting, she's obviously cuckoo. She finally believes me and wants to come home. No, not happening. I give you every chance. I tell her that our lease is up in July and I already found a job in Denver near my family. She says she'd come with me. No thanks. I respectfully declined. I told her we just weren't right for each other. The truth is, I do not have my offspring share DNA with this. The truth is, I do not want to have my offspring share any DNA with this dingbat. He sounds like Archie Bunker from All in the Family. Any of you older guys remember that show with calling Edith a dingbat? Anyway, I'm moving ahead with my divorce. I'm gutted that she took her friend's psychic vibration over mine. Obviously, she's a whacker. This is why you spend years getting to know your girl. Not just, okay, we got together a senior year in college, and then moved in right away and got married 2 years later. No. You spend years. And her friends. If she's hanging out with this girl who's a psychic and does all these things, that could be a problem down the road. Her family has approached me several times. The last time her dad offered to front us a 25% down payment on a house if I agreed to go to marriage counseling instead of just leaving. I politely declined. I cannot be bought. Good for you, bro, for having some integrity. But I wouldn't care if you put 100%. Well, no. Okay, Dad, put 100% down, and then we'll get divorced, and I'll get half the house. That sounds good to me. Rana is now depressed, but I see no way of ever trusting her again. She's young enough, she can marry again and wreck some other guy's life. Am I the a-hole here? No! She's the a-hole. You tried. You did nothing wrong. And still you were trying for a while. Where'd that get you? And finally enough was enough. You have to take care of yourself, man. You're a young guy. You got your whole life ahead of you. And yeah, she'll go screw somebody else's life up. Because I guarantee you take her back, it's only a matter of time before more wacky shit comes to the surface. I mean, really. Now some comments real quick. And they're always fun. One says, not the a-hole. It's crazy diabolical of her friend to throw out accusations like that. If she wanted to show off her quote-unquote psychic abilities, she could have made up any other number of things that could potentially ruin a person's life. But as another comment said, the psychic did help you dodge a huge bullet. Imagine if you had kids with her and her friend got a psychic vibration about you abusing the kids. That shit could land you in jail depending on how hard she believes it. While your situation really sucks, at least you are now free from someone easily influenced. Update me. Yeah. Thank God. I mean, yeah, he got married, has to deal with all this, but it could have been way worse if he was with her longer and had kids with her. They'd be dealing with her forever. One more, not the a-hole. Frankly, if her parents try to bribe or guilt you again, explain how the fuck you can defend yourself against a psychic when your ex believes her friend without evidence. The sheer fact that you dropped big money to find out your affair that never existed. Then ask them how they would feel when you basically can't defend yourself and your partner doesn't want anything to do with you for almost a year. Amen. So this guy handled things right. I'm sorry it happened, but crazier things have happened. But I couldn't resist this one when you hear something that the psychic advised the wife or the girlfriend that there's cheating going on. Yeah, get the hell out of here. Probably the psychic is just unhappy that she's single and just wants to screw up his life, blah, blah, blah. So, or her life, his life, blah, blah, blah. And now they can both be single together and her psychic friend can fix him up with some other idiot. But anyhow, this guy handled it well. Good luck to him.